Well, greetings, Cap fans. Welcome to episode 254 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm Rick Verbanis, and I'm your host. I've got a co-host. You know his name. It's Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob. London calling to the imitation zone. Forget it, brother. You can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath.
Is that the Clash?
It is.
Oh,
What's the name of the song?
London Calling.
Well, there you go. It was kind of easy. It was kind of easy one. All right, what year did the song come out, Bob?
Oh my gosh, was it late 70s?
It was.
Yeah, I remember it when it came out. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it was
sure.
19. It was December of 1979.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, so yeah, why am I greeting you with a Clash song?
Because we are visiting the mother country tonight
We
with
are.
yeah. So and we've got one of our cousins from across the pond joining us. So we're very excited about that tonight. So yeah, London Calling seems absolutely appropriate because he had to call into the show.
That was so poor on your part. I'm sorry. I mean, it was a good guess.
Yeah.
It was a really good guess.
Yeah.
If you were paying attention to the comic that we were covering tonight,
Yeah.
it would be a little bit more obvious. But that's okay. That's all right, Bob.
I don't know. I don't know, Rick. I didn't want to give too much away, because we got to talk about the title. We got to get into all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of questions about that. So I was just trying to kind of playing it like loose a little bit, a little bit loose, a little bit cagey,
I got you.
Yeah, but now you've turned it into a sticky wicket.
Look at you.
A difficult or awkward situation. It's a well-known British idiom. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick.
Well, I wouldn't know, but our guest today will know. Yes, we have a patron of the show, Super Soldier, and that is Mr. Tom Boyd. Oh, Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Right.
Hey, whatever time zone.
What's the proper greeting, Bob?
Pip, pip, doodly doo.
Pip, pip, doodly doo to you too.
And for those maybe you're like, wait a minute, I know that voice. Well, that's because just 4 episodes ago, episode 250, we did our second Captain America comic book fans community theater, and Tom was the narrator.
I was indeed. It was great. And while we're on that topic, I need to shout out, I think it's Alan Kingsley, I think the single best line read in that episode that hopefully everyone's listened to at this point. In the roll call, he is Mind Wave for the one line. He goes, Mind Wave! I lost it. I'm glad my microphone was muted because I loved it.
I got to tell you, though, it was fun watching you react to the Diamondback voicing.
I messaged Jason Olsen, the husband of the voice actor for Diamondback, and just made sure we were cool.
Made sure you were cool. The lens got a little foggy. Let's just.
And did he get back to you?
He was flattered, and I'm sure he feels very secure in his relationship. Hi, Jason. Hi, Chapel.
Yes. Yes. Chapel Taylor Olson did the voice of Diamondback, and it was so funny watching Tom. By the way, for those who don't know, Tom just got the biggest crush on character Diamondback, and you'll find out more about that, I guess, as we talk about him. But that was hilarious. So for those who are new to the show and maybe have not listened to every single episode, I don't blame you. We've been around for a while now, but if you do get a chance, you might want to go back to episode 206, which came out September 18th of 2024, so just last September. So it's been 11 months. But Tom was on the show, and for our third. I can't even call it annual. We do it twice a year now. Our third Captain America comic book fantasy draft. and he and what happens during those? There's the four of us, and like most fantasy drafts, we go in order and we go back and forth as far as we pick characters instead of players. And then at the end, we take those characters and we put together a story that we pitch as far as being a Captain America story. Now, we all start with the character Captain America, Steve Rogers. And then we go through this trying to pick characters that were in a Captain America comic book, not something that Tom seemed to brush up on before that. Um, but and then we form a story. And Tom, you want to tell everybody a little bit about that story idea that you had during the draft?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a fun episode, and it was the two drafts before that were just really standout episodes. And so if people haven't listened to them, go back, and they are all phenomenal. You can really hear the joy that comes through in four people who love the character just riffing off each other. But yeah, so I came up with my draft order. I had a lot of alternates. I even had an alternate for Diamondback. I think
I didn't know that. Who was your alternate?
The
it was
L&D.
Sharon. It was
Oh,
Sharon. That was a controversial part of draft number 2.
Yes, yes.
Taking the
I
L&D.
have since explained that the L&D is that character and it's not separate. So yes. All right.
But yeah, so I knew that I had to set the story in London or in Britain just because, I mean, it felt obvious, and it gave me a sort of unique spin. And yeah, Sharon Carter was my alternate. I think like I'm an old romantic, and I love when the comics touch on Steve's personal life. I'm perfectly happy with Sharon at the moment. Like I think Lansing and Kelly did an incredible job during their run. Such a short run, but they did such a great job. And bringing Sharon in and upping her power level with being the destroyer, etc., etc. But yeah, so I drafted all my characters in my head. I just knew I wanted them to be in London. I know the era that worked right for Diamondback and Sharon would have been later, so 90s London. And then I came unstuck. There are a couple of like vignettes that I had in my head, some of which have yet to come to pass. It'll be in issue 2 and 3. But I had no way to connect them. I talked to my wife, who's just great at sort of bouncing ideas off of. She fleshed out some of it, and then I went on holiday with a bunch of friends. We went walking one day, and I was walking for probably 2 or 3 hours with Rob Turner, who I mentioned in the acknowledgements, and we just talked. Like he's not a Cap fan. He doesn't really read comics. He's seen the MCU, but that's about it. But just for story ideas and just listening and saying like if I pitch something and he would say, well, it's not like super realistic, does it? So that's sort of how it works in the comics. I'd be like, well, no, maybe not. Yeah, refine that, odds and sods. And yeah, then came up with the enormous Google document that I
Yeah.
rushed through painfully in the 4 minutes I was given.
You sounded like one of those lawyers, or do you call them
Yeah.
barristers? Reading at the end of an advertisement to try to get in the legal language. Really,
Yeah,
really
I
fast.
felt like one of the drug ads on American television that
Right.
read the subtitles really, really quick, the side effects really, really quickly.
I got to tell you, did you? I don't know if you saw the look on my face when I realized you were going panel by panel. When you were at the very end and you were pitching your story, and you're like, yes, and then in this panel there are these large vampire demons, and they're standing here, and then in this panel they're standing here, and they're watching in this panel, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
We gotta get this
I'm
going.
glad. I'm with hindsight glad you put a time limit on it before I started. But I could have used. I mean, we'll be here for 6 hours tonight. So I could have used that entire time.
I'm gonna
Strap
say,
in,
wait a minute.
boys.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a pip pip doodly don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in. I'm wearing a diaper, so I'm good.
All right, so I have a question I think most of our listeners want to know because they
Mhm.
hear the accent. Where are you from?
I'm from, I mean, near enough London. It's like I don't know where Naples, Florida is. I'm afraid, Bob.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if I say I'm from Tunbridge in the UK,
Ah.
but it's like half an hour south of London.
All right.
Yeah, then you say London. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
all right. I lived in Atlanta for 16 years, but it was like 40 minutes north. But I just said Atlanta.
Yeah. Most people do.
Tangentially to that, I knew that your comic shop was in Atlanta, and I tried to find the address for it, for the advert that's in the comic.
I
Oh
can't wait to
man.
talk to you about that. Yeah, that was very cool. But okay, so here you are. You're in London, and your favorite comic book character is Captain America. Explain.
Sure. So I was thinking about this myself because everything is very hazy. I'm 40 years old, super old.
Mhm.
And I went back and actually started to piece together. I talked to my mum, to sort of get some dates on when I bought various things. And so 1993, I was 8, and my brother was very ill in his youth, and we were given the opportunity to go to Florida with a charity called Give Kids the World. It's sort of like a Make-A-Wish thing, and they have this village out in Florida where they send families, and then you go to the parks. And the village had this big castle in the middle where you go and eat, and it had an arcade, like a free arcade. And I was 8, and I loved video games, and they had a Captain America and the Avengers arcade cabinet. And I didn't want to go to the parks. Like they was that good. I was obsessed with Captain
Mhm.
America the Avengers. Um, so coming home, that was also the same time where I picked up my other hobby, if that's allowed,
Yeah, yeah.
um, which is Warhammer and model wargaming, and that was a lot more available in the UK where it was basically invented, than comics. So that became my hobby and way all my disposable income and a lot of my parents' disposable income went on that. So comics and cap sort of lapsed, although um, I would engage where I could. So if there were TV shows on TV, which again in Britain wasn't massive, but in the late 90s, so 96, when I just started to go to secondary school, I should have asked my wife to translate all these into American grades. But so yeah, I was 11, and a comic shop opened in my town in Tunbridge, and I was I was there looking for comics. My brother was a Spider-Man, X-Men fan, and I was the proprietor gave me this Avengers 400 issue, and oh, it's just amazing. So I read it to death. I don't think I have that original copy. It probably fell apart. But I bought a new copy recently, and it's just as good as I remember it. So going from that into Onslaught, because that led into the whole Onslaught thing, and Cat plays it's not a pivotal role because it's an X-Men story, but in Onslaught Marvel Universe, which is a massive sort of ending to the whole saga, Cap is like being Cap, and he's just being brave and awesome, and that sort of, it's a supporting role in a team book where he's still integral. That's Captain America, and that spoke to me as a kid.
Hmm.
Um, I listened to all the other Nightcap episodes in the lead up to recording this, and people talked about their first Captain America comic. And my first Captain America comic was Volume 2, Issue 1,
Okay.
which has its own reputation now. Um, but as a kid, well, yeah, 11, 12 years old, Rob Liefeld was the dog's proverbials.
Hmm.
And
Toenails. Yeah.
toenails, sure.
Yeah. Right.
So I was thinking, like, am I allowed to swear on this? And Bob swears in every nightcap.
Oh, do
Just like off the bat, the
I?
opening 15 minutes, Bob's like, oh shit, Oh, sorry, sorry. Pardon my French. Pardon my French. Sorry, can't do Floridian. But yeah.
I'm suddenly Turner to Century.
Yeah. That's my one American accent. Is sort of deep South turn of the century. Oh yeah, so I read Cap on and off through to the end of Cassaday's run on Volume 4.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's like 2002. He did the first 6 issues, and that I read Volume 3 on and off, and it was fine. Again, it's just difficult to get comics in Britain without like going to London. But I made sure that I got all of that Volume 4, like first 6 issues. I was captivated. Cassaday's art, Reba's writing, post 9/11. I was 17 at the time, and I thought Marvel Knights I thought was such a great pitch, and I loved it. I still love it. I can reread it anytime. I think it's just so fundamental to the character. And at some point in this 6 years, for my birthday, my mum got me a copy of Captain America 100.
Oh wow.
Which I remember being on the shelf in a comic book shop in Canterbury, and just thinking like it was £125 as a ridiculous amount of money to a
That's a really, really
12-year-old.
heavy comic book. Are you sure it was a first print?
Yeah, that's like what, 10, 20 stone?
It's what it'll be about 50 kilos.
Oh my God, it's so complicated.
Pounds sterling, sorry, $200. And I couldn't imagine spending that. And then there was a complete surprise Christmas morning, and it arrived. It was a really heavy envelope, and I kept it in that envelope for 30 years ish before sending it to CGC. And now it's up on my. Unfortunately, it came back restored, and it's got some color touching on the cover, but it's mine, and I love it. And it's the 100.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and there's a lot of story to it. So
yeah,
many, many.
No, I think it was only 22 pages, Bob.
Yeah.
But I never ever opened my copy of it.
Really?
It came in its Mylar bag in its big envelope, and I never opened it. I knew it was for collecting, and I've read it now on Marvel Universe. It's fine, I guess.
I know, right?
As it goes.
That's one of the thing about us collectors, right? Like sometimes it's just cool having it. Right?
100%. Bob said about I'm going to call you Rob throughout this, and I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Believe it or not, my family calls me and you feel like family, Tom. So just go ahead.
Thank you. So Bob said something about like that you don't really retain memories of experiences, so you collect things.
Right.
And I 100%. My memory like a goldfish. Like I just about remember my wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
And I'm just about to remember my own birthday. But things.
My wife planned our wedding, so it would be on the same day. It's just a different month. So her birthday, our wedding anniversary, my birthday, all the 26th. And she did that very intentionally.
Did you marry her because she shared the same birthday as you?
It was very difficult. Very difficult to find somebody, but eventually, yeah.
I mean, different decades, but yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, a real funny story about my wedding anniversary. I struggle with it every year, and I've only been married 3 years. And that's honest truth. I've only been married 3 years, but my wife and I were supposed to get married in 2020, but there was this little thing over here in America called the pandemic.
We had it too.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh,
we were locked down.
I mean,
I had a special letter from the government to allow me to drive to work.
Oh, that's right.
I was very proud of that.
Yeah. That's
but anyway, we couldn't do the wedding in 2020 because of the pandemic. So then we pushed it. It was in June, and then we pushed it to the following June. And then, because the pandemic would be over by then, right? and then we go to that June, and it was like, oh, we still can't do it really, because we didn't want to have people in masks. We wanted people to be comfortable, and all this stuff. So then we ended up pushing it to the following June. And honestly, in my mind, I can't remember which June, because I remember we had 3 different June weddings. And that, it's like I can't remember which one was which. So that's my excuse.
I feel like you should give her credit for those extra 2 years, present wise, because you don't start getting to like the really good stuff until like the later anniversary, because like the first anniversary, like paper, and I don't know, second plastic or whatever it is, right? But it takes a while
What are you at a grocery store?
before you
Paper and
start
plastic?
before you start getting to the really good stuff,
The zucchini,
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Fresh vegetables, right? That was, I think, year 3 or something. So
What's 10 years? So it's my 10-year anniversary.
oh, is it 10
this
years?
year.
I don't know. We haven't hemmed to that, but I remember like the silver and the gold, right? That's hanging out there. So yeah. I think it was comics. I think it's 10 years. It's comics. But Tom, I got to ask you, do you ever feel the least twinge of self-loathing or anything that you're not a Captain Britain fan?
I mean, so like there was Marvel UK here, like while I was reading comics in the late 90s, and I know so the Facebook group is a utopia of positivity. Is the podcast?
No, we're not there.
Because Marvel UK Marvel UK was awful.
Yeah,
and I Captain
oh,
Britain.
come on, Death's Head. They had Death's Head.
Oh my god. I read Death's Head and I don't remember it, and there's a reason.
Battletech.
I don't.
Mistech Wars.
Are you just reading a list now?
No. These are the ones I remember of Marvel
wow.
UK. But yeah, you're right. I mean, no, I remember, and they had British artists.
Yeah.
So there was a lot
great
of
artists, to be fair.
Yeah, but the characters are all, 90s characters.
Yeah. And Captain Britain had his really crappy outfit at that time, the lion chest one with any mask that ends here and you can see someone's hair is really dumb. It's a reason I hate Super Soldier, the amalgam Superman Captain America thing.
Oh, right.
Because you can see his hair.
Yeah,
Stupid.
the hair.
Whereas now Captain Britain has the really cool the helmet and everything. So Excalibur, to be fair, Excalibur is the European British based X team.
Right.
And I have almost a complete run of Excalibur.
Oh wow.
I loved Excalibur.
Yeah, Paul Neary, Al Davis, yeah. Good stuff.
Some classic art and writers.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird, wacky stuff. But yeah.
So all right, I want to know, and I think people who are listening in, because you did something that all of us at some point maybe thought of, but never actually did. And that is you actually made a real comic. And I think most of us fans have said, I've got a story in my head, or I've got a favorite character and I'd love to see him do this. And we all know, we listened to that draft, right? We all heard your passion and your interest in that story. But it's one thing to do that, and it's another thing to turn it into a living, breathing comic, which I have right here that we're going to cover panel by panel in a little bit. But how did that happen?
So I have a side like hustle where I digitally design and 3D print models. So I have a lot for my own collection, and I do it for other people. And I use that hobby to fund the hobby. So I don't spend any of what I earn at work on my hobby. And I was saving up for a Golden Age Captain America. I just thought I'd like one, like just to wet the whistle, just one nice Golden Age in like CGC, blue label. And there was one on eBay for like £1,600 sterling. It's about $2,000. And I thought, I'd get that. It was issue 14, and it was Dr. Crime and the Pygmies of Terror. And there's something about that title.
It's a classic, yeah.
Exactly, right? And an evergreen villain who I'm sure is due to return in the Zdarsky run.
Yep.
Anytime. And so I had that in my mind, and then I was like, it felt so frivolous. It's a lot of money, and I just thought, okay, so I'll save up till I've got $2,500, and then I've got this buffer, and I'll buy the comic, and then I've still got $1,000 left. And then I just thought, I could, how much can it be to get a comic made? I love my story, and I refined it like after the draft, and I kept going back to it and thinking like the outline was fine, but there were more particular things that would come to me afterwards. And so then I just started hanging out on Facebook groups for artists, and there are a lot of frustrated artists who want to break into the industry, and they work for very reasonable rates, really, to hope to get their name out there, I guess. And so I just started contacting artists, and I like Googled how to write a comic book script and started writing. I think I wrote the first like arc up to the master mount, like page 6, and I just got a couple of artists to draw page 2. Um, just because it was a multi-panel page. I thought a splash page wasn't really a test. Like you see a lot of different expressions, and then it was like the third artist that that had a go. We just did, and just everything was absolutely perfect. And then I thought, well, I can afford this, and I asked my wife, and she is very supportive of my hobbies, and she was just like, well, it's not like you're spending our money, so I got the go ahead, and then everything, yeah, just had to. Then I had to actually write the whole thing, and oh, it is difficult. I am not a naturally uh, creative person. I've never done anything. I've never written fiction before. I'd sort of think of myself as an academic to a certain extent, so I can write and think about things other people have done.
Mm-hmm.
I can write essays and expound on historical crap. But something creative like this was, oh my God, it was exhausting. Um, but I did it at work, so
do they listen to this podcast by any
I
chance?
I would say that I was thinking about this. I mean, I was thinking about like because will might ask me about what I do and stuff like that, and what are the chances? Vanishingly rare. And even if there is someone high
Uh-huh.
up in my company that does listen to this, then hopefully they are a fan and they're just sympathetic to the company time I waste.
There you go. That's
Right.
fair. That's
So we'll
I think
find out.
Yeah.
we'll
It's
find out.
morale. It's a morale
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So how now you talked about Paulo Marcello, right? That was the
Yes.
artist that the
Oh,
third artist that you got. Um,
yeah.
and I went online. I took a look at some of his other work, and
Mm.
it's you're right. I mean, like these are people who are trying to break in, but he obviously has talent, right?
Oh,
And
oh my God. I said to him about half or early on, like I genuinely can see him working professionally, like for major companies. I know he's working on something at the moment, something else, which is delaying issue 2 slightly, but I'm just so thrilled to see him working more. And I think he just delivered. Uh, I we'll get to it when we go through the book as well, because there's just a host of stuff he did that I couldn't have imagined.
and one of the things before I forget,
Mm.
while we're going through the book and acting that out, if there's any fun story behind a panel or page or something like that, and say, oh, because we do this little thing, Tom, where we have like sidebars and
Mm. I,
kind of
I I hadn't
tangents.
noticed.
Yeah. So by all means. But anyway, so getting back to the creators here, I noticed you
Mhm.
have two colorists. You want
Mm.
to talk about that?
Yeah, so it was something I was not aware of. But so well, originally I was aiming for a more 90s feel to the colors. And again, I talked to several colorists, and I found out about this thing called flatting. And flatting, basically they isolate, because this is all done digitally. They isolate the different parts, which makes the ultimate coloring easier, because they'll layer. So if you look at page 2, like they'll take Diamondback's dress and they'll make it its own Photoshop layer, and then her flesh, and so they'll isolate each one layer of that, and it'll just make the colorist's job much easier.
Hmm.
So Van Flatter did the flats, and then Miriam did the colors over the flats. if that makes any
So it
sense.
gave so the second one, Miriam basically added more depth to it, a little more.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Depth and nuance. And because I originally thought maybe the flatting would be sufficient to make it look quite 90s, but then Van was like, well, try Miriam, and then she delivered that page one. I think it was just panel two, and the sunset, and just oh my god, it just brought the whole thing to life, and I was sold.
And then tell us, Rob Jones, letterer.
Yeah, I mean, it more much. He's put himself in as letters, and he did so much more than that. So every pretty much about half the adverts have his imprint on them. The rundown page that we're looking at for the creative team, he put that together. So I just sent him the text, the assets, and then he made this. And I could not have done that to the same level of quality and professionalism. He's just finished a Kickstarter for a book he wrote and lettered, called based around the War of the Worlds um, book universe sort of thing, called the
Mhm.
USS Thunderchild, and I backed it. I'm very excited to read what he has done. But his design is etched all throughout this. I it's really hard to fully acknowledge the debt that the book owes to all these people. Um,
And
and international. So Paolo is from Brazil, Mariam's from Egypt, Van Flatter I think is in the Philippines, and Rob is a Brit.
So this was
Uh,
all distance coordination, right?
all done
Oh
over
wow.
the internet. All done for Facebook Messenger and Dropbox and everything like that, and just all things coming together very slowly sometimes, very frustrating. Like just especially when you're getting close to the end, it felt like a bit. Just everyone took all the time they needed to deliver a product that I am overjoyed with.
yeah,
That
and
said, since I started writing issue two, I feel a lot more confident in it, and there's a lot I want to go back and change about issue one.
I bet that's a like a just a perennial temptation, I think, for
For
most
writers, I think, yeah,
creative people,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Tom, I just want to let you know that Bob's not the only one who does research on this show.
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, his Albion understanding put to the side, I did a lot of prep work leading up to the show. Now, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I was in Nashville just a few days ago. It was a family reunion on my wife's mom's side, so we went to Nashville for a quick 3 days, and I was like, I have to be ready for today's recording.
It's
So
a big show, big
it is.
in the calendar.
I um I actually brought, so your comic actually has made it to Nashville. So
It's like Stanley Flat. You
it
familiar with
is.
Stanley Flat? Do they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We called him Flat Stanley. Yeah,
Flat
yeah.
Stanley. All right.
Yeah. We called it Flat Stanley too. I don't know what the hell Bob's talking about.
Oh, I have Stanley Flat. It's his cousin on his mom's
The
side.
off brand.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of Flat Stanley, when I won my championship in the fantasy football group, um, I was so obnoxious. I took the trophy, and it's this huge trophy. I mean, it's easily 2 feet tall, and I took this trophy with me to so many different places and took pictures of me.
Doesn't
So I'd
sound
be at
like you at all.
I'd be at a restaurant holding the trophy and looking at the menu. I was I went to a horse farm where Meg and I were supposed to get on horses. So I'm there petting a horse, holding the trophy. My favorite is me coming out of a Costco with a full cart with the trophy on top of all the groceries, and I'm looking at the Costco receipt. Anyway, so yes, Flat Stanley. So anyway, I took your comic with me to Nashville, and I'm going to share with you a couple photos. My wife, she recorded all of this.
Ah,
So here's me on the plane.
Yep.
Um, and it was a late flight, so it was very very late. But I had
just
to
like in the comic book.
Yeah.
yeah
There you go.
Spoiler
yeah.
alert.
Wow. Nice.
And then you know we had to make sure that we were waiting at the hotel lobby, and I I had to get my prep work in.
Look at that expression. He seems like
Yeah,
engrossed in this. Like he's
it's
like
deep in
shocked.
thought.
Yeah,
I clearly my writing has triggered
it
something
really is.
incredibly
Oh,
intellectual.
oh, wait till you see this next one because I was really shocked as I was at um, the the outside rooftop pool.
That is, it's a very small pool.
It really is. It is.
It's a small pool. Well, it's on the roof, you know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
Yeah.
but as you can see, the
Wow.
skyline,
it's a
Yeah.
you
lovely
know, behind
skyline.
me. But
I don't. Are you like, oh my god, or is that like you stifling a yawn? What's going on? Go either way
It looks
there.
like that looks like the last page ish. He's clearly reading his own writing.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
right.
Oh, this is very insightful.
God.
Well, we don't want to give away
No.
the big
Wow.
surprise at the end.
These are amazing photos, and wow, Rick, I have never seen you read this much. So this is like mind-boggling to me.
I'm impressed you've got as much hair on your legs as you do on your head.
All right.
We can edit that out.
I didn't know it was going to turn into a roast.
All right. Well, I'm just glad that the board shorts are as long as they are. Quite
Yeah.
frankly, there's some gaps showing there. That this is a family show. So.
All right. All right. Should we get on to the comic?
You didn't skip leg day though. Let's end with a compliment. Been
All
working
right.
out, Rick.
All right. Maybe we'll break into the comic. And since you are here, um,
Yeah.
why don't you take the listeners through the cover? I know that's Bob's job
Oh,
normally.
Bob's job.
I know, but you know, being that you're the creator, I think it'd be kind of cool to have you
Sure.
do it. Is that okay,
Okay.
Bob?
This one
That's good.
time, Rick.
All right.
Okay, so the cover has it's the Captain America logo from the appropriate era. Thanks to Bob actually for I think posted the link to it was a website with all the different Captain America
Right?
logos.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was able to find the right one. It actually changed. So this is so we've got a nice corner box, and so it's called issue 424.1 because it's set sort of during issue 424. It sort of replaces part of it, but it does not take place afterwards, importantly. And the
And by the
logo
way,
actually,
for those who want to hear issue 424, make sure you go to episode 236. So we covered it not too long ago, and so if you want to, you know, get a little backstory on what's going on in that story.
and it's a really good issue, B, with fantastic, unique art. Um, but yeah, so they actually changed the logo in 425 when Rick Levins came on. So yeah, the rest of the cover, we have a Master Man in the background with his handsome belt necklace thing, and our quartet of
Mm.
heroes. We've got Union Jack.
I loved him in The Boys, by the way.
I haven't seen a lot of the boys. The boys really depressed me. I
Mhm.
saw season one, and I found it far too realistic. It made me think, like, if I had superpowers,
Yeah.
would I be Cap or would I be Homelander? And I don't like my self judgment. So
Mm. Yeah, it does have a little Homelander feel to it.
it does, yeah, for sure. So yeah, we've got our quartet of heroes, Union Jack in the background with Spitfire, so Agent Spitfire, Jacqueline Wilson, and then Diamondback and Cap, surrounded by some monstrous bat creatures, with a backdrop of London. It's slightly, I mean, Paolo took the inspiration of London-esque. It reads London, But any person that's been to London is going to look at it and go, "Is Big Ben there?"
Right,
Um,
right. This, I mean, the cover is fantastic, and I mean, I just the rendering of the characters, and the little demon bat dudes, and Master Man. Just it's my view, it's flawless, right? I mean, I love this cap. This crouched
yeah,
cap is just mind blowing.
yeah. I mean, enjoy it as well because you're not going to see Captain America in the uniform for the rest of this issue.
Well,
But I very specifically wanted him in uniform on the cover, because there's just so many instances where the thing on the cover has no relation to what is in the actual issue, which it's one of those silly things I really enjoy.
well, at least the colorist got the stripe right.
And I didn't brief her on that specifically either,
Yeah. All right.
which I realized since I should have, and I will for issue 2 just in case.
All right. Yeah, and this is not approved by the Comics Code Authority.
No.
I like that little touch up in the corner box.
And yeah, so there was a big discussion with Rob over where to put Shadows over Albion, part 1 of 3. And I just took inspiration from stuff like Streets of Poison, which is always up at the top, and it's always got its own font. And this is something I put together that is ripped out of the cheat that I used to win the fantasy draft number 3.
Yes, yes, you did. You got 46% of the votes. You
The
got
only undefeated winner of the fantasy draft, no less.
Let me. I got to ask you, Tom.
Mhm.
The title,
Mm.
Shadows over Albion. I had no idea what maybe Rick did, because Rick's he's into
Very
those sorts of
wise.
things, but
Yeah, that is
I had
true. It's
no
something.
idea what Albion was. I had to look it up.
Right. Okay.
So
Something I was wondering. So Albion is the sort of semi-mythical historical term for Britain. It's used in sort of Arthurian literature. It's sort of the
Bob, that was
Sceptred Isle.
King Arthur, who was,
oh,
during the Round
ah,
Table kind of mythology there.
oh,
That's what he meant by that.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, good. That's good stuff. That's good to know. My favorite
It
movie,
felt
Excalibur. So I should have known it, but I don't even remember them saying that in that movie. So
it felt like mythical
uh-huh.
enough, and that if I put the flag behind it, people would just hopefully just get the hint.
Well, I got to be honest with you. When I picked it up and I read it, I thought it was just some town. I'm like, it must be. It's down south
Shadows
of
over
Tunbridge.
this
It's like just a
particular.
little
Yeah.
bit south of Tunbridge. So, but I did look it up, and so yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, if it felt I guess if I just Shadows over Britain sounds a bit meh. And
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
to be fair, I struggled with this for a long time as well. It was red shadows over Albion and shadows over Britain and blood over blah 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 blah, and
All
everything
right.
felt a bit on the nose. And I think we arrived at something.
Yeah, you nailed it.
All right, and we open it up to the opening page, and by the way, there's tons of ads in here. I think there's a total of uh,
Well, how many
20.
pages is a comic book?
Well, typically it's 22, but I think you have
Mhm.
23.
Yeah, it depends what you count as a page. So
I count this as a page.
see, so I didn't
Oh, okay.
because I needed to not. But there are 9 pages of adverts and 23 pages of comic.
Yeah, and
I tried to follow the form.
11 if you count the inside covers.
Yes, that is true.
Right.
Which I did forget until
See,
late on.
that's all right. I pay attention. And so on the left-hand side of this title page, there's Captain America's shield, and then we have a little roll call, which I love. I always love those, right? Steve Rogers, Captain America, Rachel Lighton, Diamondback, Jacqueline Fallsworth, Spitfire, Pete Wisdom, M113. He was, by the way, he was a little bit of a controversial last-minute character that you had to do for the draft. And then Joey Chapman, Union Jack. All right. Shall I read all of this?
Please do.
All right. With special thanks to the Captain America comic book. See, it sounds a little self-serving.
Do you want me to read that bit?
Yes.
With special thanks to the Captain America Comic Book Fans podcast, we cast our minds back to 1994 for a pulse-pounding tale of heroism starring the Sentinel of Liberty himself, Captain America.
Well, I think you did an excellent job. You should just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So recently, Captain America and his ally and paramour, Rachel Layton, better known as Diamondback, faced one of their most harrowing battles. Gravely injured in the line of duty, Cap left Rachel in Wakanda, where their advanced medical science was able to heal her wounds completely. Now Rachel has returned to Steve Rogers' side, whole again. But not all wounds heal cleanly. Though relieved to have Rachel back, Steve can't ignore the creeping fatigue slowing his reflexes and dulling his edge. An unfamiliar weakness he can't explain. Meanwhile, Rachel is still growing accustomed to a transformation of her own. The same super soldier serum that made Captain America now flows through her veins, enhancing her strength, speed, and agility. But with that power comes uncertainty, and she's still finding her footing in this new reality. And yet, something else lingers. Steve can sense it. Rachel is holding something back, a secret she's not ready to share. Hoping for a brief escape from the pressures of duty, and as a way to make things up to Rachel, Steve has planned a vacation to London. A chance to reconnect, to take a breath. But trouble has a way of finding Captain America, and this holiday will be no exception. This vacation, sorry.
I know. I love it. I love the fact that you are bringing paramour back.
Ah, I
Because you are
really
the
enjoyed.
only person I know who uses that term since like the 1930s. So thank you for bringing paramour back.
Sometimes, like you find an opportunity to do something like that, and you think of a word and you think, oh, that's a great word.
You got to use it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just written a page in issue 2, and I'm just so excited to realize it. It's just brilliant. If I do.
Does it have an attaché case?
So you're referring to the community theatre episode 4 weeks ago, and when I Grant and I wrote the script for that, and Grant messaged me the night that I wrote that saying, "Have you done this on purpose?" Like, yes, I have done this on purpose.
Love it.
All right, so we open it up to the first comic page, and it is JFK International Airport in New York City, and what we see here is Steve and Rachel in their civilian identities, and they're in a terminal D for Diamondback, I'm guessing, and we see that Rachel is walking towards Steve with a big smile on her face. And Bob, would you like to describe to the listeners what Rachel is wearing?
Oh, I'd love to. So she is wearing like a nice summer dress, Rick. It's yellow. It's like a mustard yellow
Mm-hmm.
and kind of strappy, little low cut. So it's showing off her ample bosom. And it is mid thigh. So, she's ready to get some sun. So no better place to go for that than London.
And yeah, and how would you describe her hair?
Well, it is pink, right? So it's that sort of fuchsia hair that Diamondback is known for, and it is flowing over her left shoulder. So it's longish. It's very beguiling, I must say.
But she does have that side shaved part, right? Like that was her classic style during that time.
This is
And
peak Diamondback, by the way. Like it was again, but even when I was realizing the story, I knew I had to set it here because so the worst thing Mark Gruenwald did to Diamondback was dye her hair or put her hair back to being brunette. Because she lost out on so many like cover opportunities where she doesn't have pink hair. This will I will come back to this in a future Nightcap episode where I have a planned episode for the top 5 Diamondback top 5s because I have a lot of opinions.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it does.
Speaking of Nightcap, because this is a Nightcap episode where we invite our super soldier patrons onto the show. They pick the topic, and hey, this is the topic. So, but what are we drinking tonight, fellas? Tom, why don't you start? What is your drink of choice?
My drink of choice is tap water.
Ooh,
I'm
gutsy
an
move.
adventurer,
Bold
if
move.
nothing else.
Yeah.
But I don't really drink alcohol. I grew up only drinking tap water, and I have drunk Coca-Cola once in my life, and it made me want to vomit.
Wow.
So tap
Yeah.
water.
All
All
right.
right.
I've rarely drunk anything else. I've never drunk a hot drink in my life.
Wow.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, it's quite a track
Don't
record.
recommend starting.
Yeah,
No.
not at 40.
No.
Indeed.
Bob, what you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking Jameson's orange on the rocks. So there is tap water involved in the ice cubes that have melted, quite a bit over because it's Naples, Florida, and it's like 100 degrees out. So
Yeah,
things,
and it's not a dry heat.
it's not a dry heat. No.
Yeah. And then I got my normal
Got your
in my
normal.
little cap corksel here. Mine also has ice, but it also has seltzer. So I have some water in here as well.
Bubbles.
Yeah, with some vodka and lemonade.
Nice.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Cheers.
We
All
made
right.
it one panel before we had to do a tangent.
Yeah.
All right. So, again, Rachel is walking towards Steve, who is Steve's wearing, like a blazer and some slacks and a dress shirt, no tie. That's his what do you call travel business attire, right? And she yells out, "Steve!" and he yells out, "Rachel!" But Steve thinks to himself, "Okay, play it cool, Steve. Rachel, you look gorgeous." "Oh, Steve." "Super cool, super soldier." "Am I a little underdressed?" "Not at all, Diamond. But aren't you traveling a little light?" "Oh, I brought a little help. If you're not going to tell me where we're going, what's a girl to do?" "So, where are we going?" "It's a surprise. And no heroics, right, hun?" "Right. We're going to relax." Now, before we move on to the following panels, and Steve's got his suitcase and his carry-on, but we see when she says, "You're not going to tell me where we're going, what is a girl to do?" There is like, I don't know, 7 pieces of luggage here on a cart that is so heavy that 2 people are pushing it. And then we see them like exhausted sitting on a bench afterwards. I know who these characters are,
I
but
was going to say,
for those who don't, Tom, who are these?
they are meant to be Asp and Black Mamba.
Bad Girls Inc.
Bad Girls Inc. Just little nod. I mean, just feeding to Paolo what they were wearing, and he's just like I think he's communicated it really well. And yeah, so the idea is that Steve has arrived early because he's Steve Rogers. He's checked all his bags, and now he's loaded down with all her stuff. But it's light work to him. He's Captain America, so he can carry all those 7 bags himself.
Well, with the super soldier serum, so can she.
Well, that's true. That's true. But she's just getting used to it. And
Yeah,
she's a lady.
Yeah, and he's being a gentleman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she in the next 3 panels after this, I love this. She's kind of still talking to him. He's just quiet and minding his own business. And she's going on and on about where they're going to go and how much she wants to relax. And as she's sitting there, she keeps talking about it. And day turns to night as Steve looks out the window and she's relaxing. And she says, "We're going to relax on a beach in the sun with mimosas and a pool." And she has all these thoughts in her head of a lovely, warm, sunny vacation. And we turn the page, and it's a giant splash page of Rachel and Steve walking in the middle of the street in London. And it's raining because it's London, and her hair's drenched, and he's drenched, and she has her arms crossed. And Bob, she doesn't look happy.
No, I've seen that look before. I'm sure you've seen that look before. That is a common look we've all experienced at one point or another, where the significant other is just not happy with our performance.
And
So
it says,
there's a couple of things about this page that So firstly, this was the page that sealed it for Paolo. Like that, the expression on her face was something that other artists weren't able to capture, and the expression on his face, like, oh shit, I done effed up. And I just love it, and it was very deliberately designed. This is one of those sort of vignette moments, probably the first one I thought of, that I want to turn the page onto this. So we needed like 2 pages and then an ad, and then you hit the splash page, because it doesn't work if you read the In the Sun with Mimosas and a Pool on the same page, because you get the impact of
Right.
her. It's the subverted expectation, and I love how it turned out. And this is why you need to read it with ads, and you need to eventually, I hope, to get copies out to the super soldiers. But
Yeah, no, it's a fun page, and then there's some Easter eggs here, right? There's
yeah.
some names of the stores. We've got a couple of other patrons of the show. So one is Grant Ball, which you had mentioned earlier, and one is Domeyers for Mark Domeyer, who, um, uh, you know, uh, no stranger to the show as well. And the title to this one is Bob.
London Calling.
And at the top, we have the little precursor that's usually found at the top of a Marvel comic, or in this case, Captain America. Steve Rogers, born in the USA, raised to cherish the ideals of democracy, endowed with a superhuman physique, and driven to be the most capable combatant in the world. Now, as both lone crusader and leader of the renowned Avengers, he fights an ongoing battle for liberty, justice, and the American dream. Stanley presents Captain America. And turn the page. And now we change the scene. And it is a darker scene. We're in a building we can't quite make out yet, but it has the feeling of a church because of the windows, and very old feeling as well because of the ceilings and the pillars. And it says, deep in the back streets of London, hidden amongst a warren of derelict and disused buildings, a secret plot nears fruition. And we hear something flying in, Bob.
Woof, woof, woof. Master, master, urgent news.
Speak, creature. Is this better be important, or I will pull out your tongue?
Our scanners detected his Avenger identity card at the airport. Captain America is in London.
Captain America has arrived in London. Unexpected. Are we revealed? No, we have been too careful, but this is an opportunity nonetheless. The Sentinel of Liberty, here, a twist of fate. His blood is pure and strong. The super soldier serum that flows through his veins will amplify the weapon tenfold. Prepare the hunters. I want Captain America brought to me alive. I shall prove my superiority once and for all. I, Master Man, shall triumph.
And on the next page, this gigantic one panel splash of Masterman revealed, being the one speaking the whole time, as well as several of these gigantic vampire bats flying up in the Belfry area.
This was
human size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're humans.
Yeah.
They're giant full bats.
Yeah.
So this is a panel that there's a couple of, so that's sort of the end of the first arc. And when this was done, I shared it on the group. And so this page in particular, so for every page, I gave Paolo a rough layout with stick figures, and to sort of denote positioning and poses. This page, it was just a picture of a stick man. And and he gave me this, and it was just so, like, I put the transformation there in the group a while back, and it was just so like, oh wow, yeah, you get it. And if you're going back to page 1, actually, I didn't have an image. It was a really, in my head, it was a really difficult page to communicate what I wanted. I knew I just wanted the focus on Rachel and with Steve admiring her the way we would. And I envisioned it as a single page splash. And then Paolo just came back with this, and I was just like, oh, that's just, so I rewrote the page entirely, and it was just so intuitive of him, and that happens throughout the book, where he added or changed things that I didn't even ask him to, just based on his instincts and his understanding of visual storytelling. And it's such a skill, and
Do you feel like now that you've gone through an issue and you've had this relationship and you've had to communicate your vision, does it come easier to you now?
Oh, 100%. Like
Yeah.
writing issue 2, the flow and everything, again, frustratingly, is much easier, and I've got much more of a feel for them as well, and my voice for them, which is great. But I think there's definitely going to be a director's cut of this issue.
Oh, that's
cool.
awesome.
So we turn the page and it says Fallsworth House, Fleet Street. And so it's the middle of the night. We have a full moon. And on this cobblestone street, there is a very nice dark car. And Steve is letting Rachel out of the door. And I have a question for you. The
Mhm.
license plate, does it mean anything?
It does not.
It does.
Okay.
I was just looking at myself, and it does feel now like a missed opportunity for an Easter egg.
Oh, I looked that
Um,
up.
yeah.
Tom.
Oh, wow.
That is an actual in-use license plate of a 2014 T-by-4 Elegance auto with a saloon-type body style, produced by Geely Auto, under the moniker of the London Taxi Company. So
I was gonna say
it is
that makes more
registered.
sense.
It is registered as a black taxi
A black
cab that
cab.
looks just like that.
I probably sent him a picture. So this is to people that have ever been to London. This is an iconic. It's like the New York yellow
Right.
taxi. Like this is an iconic British taxi cab. And so he probably Googled
Yeah, and you probably
taxi.
don't realize, but those taxi cabs are also produced and used around the world: Singapore, Bahrain,
Right.
Dubai, Las Vegas, even next door to my hometown, Hudson, Massachusetts, uses these taxis.
Those.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and Rick says I don't do any research.
No.
No, it's just all the listeners. I love you, Bob. So Steve's letting Rachel out of the vehicle, lending his hand so that she can step out of the car. I think we're here, Rachel. Are you sure? Last time I checked, I wasn't a princess. And they're inside the Fallsworth house, greeted by Jackie Fallsworth. Welcome, Steve. It's been too long. Rachel, it's a pleasure to meet you. Please, make yourselves at home. Make ourselves at home? Don't mind if I do. Lady Fallsworth, this place is gorgeous. Jackie, please. Lady Fallsworth was my mother. My name isn't the only thing that came from my parents. This old place has been in the family for years. It's a far cry from Brooklyn, that's for sure. Amid the plush elegance of the Fallsworth Lounge, our allies reconnect and stories resurface, while Diamondback finds herself swept into the warmth of bonds forged in fire and heroism.
So there's a couple of things about this page. There's a bit of a no prize for Jackie in general, because the last time, when was the last time Jackie was in a Captain America comic?
Oh gosh.
I mean, were we talking the Stern
It,
Burn?
from this, yeah, we are. Like, so
Yeah.
it's issue 250-ish, 253.
Yeah.
And she don't look like this in that comic.
No, she's older. She's
Yeah.
middle-aged. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if something happened in the Marvel Universe where
Well,
she's been de-aged.
Still got a little vampire blood,
yeah,
there?
I think that's pretty much. So basically, I mean,
Yeah.
for the purpose of this story, I was sort of sliding timelining it, and because I wanted her to do a particular role. But I read the sort of Union Jack miniseries, and she does have an encounter with vampires in some time between the Stern Burn era and the 2000s when that miniseries came out. So there are in-universe explanations.
Excellent.
Panel 3, panel 4 really, where Rachel's sitting in that chair. I had a very particular vision for the chair, and it's Paolo didn't quite get what. So I had my mother sit in a chair that we have at home to communicate fully like the chair I wanted. He was really agonizing over what I'd written for this chair, and I was just like, oh, well, let me take a photo of it. And so the model for Rachel in this is my mother, which is a bit weird, a bit Freudian. The pictures behind them are all pictures of. So there's the older Union Jack, whose name escapes me now, on the far right picture hanging on the wall, and the others are the Falsworth Manor, just pulled from various issues.
I see it now. Yeah,
Mm.
that's cool.
And again, so Miriam, the colorist, put that sort of glass sheen over them,
Mm-hmm.
unasked for. Looks brilliant. I asked for like super 90s furniture, and that it's the couch that Jackie is on. It's just awful. It's very 90s.
It
Yeah,
is,
that was
yeah.
but that was state of the art back then, and she had the money for it. So
Exactly.
there you go.
Yeah.
But also in this scene is a young man sitting on the couch talking with Steve, and the two of them are sharing a cup of coffee or some tea. I don't know, but
Is that a hot toddy?
yeah.
Last time you were in England, mate, you had me running across the countryside, dodging bullets and ghosts.
And you didn't miss a step. Last I heard, you're still Britain's finest, Joey.
Speaking of ghosts, London's been strange lately. Unexplained disappearances, eerie sightings.
Nope, no ghosts,
But,
no vampires,
well,
no haunted tea shops. We're here for a vacation.
I'm just saying, Pink. London's full of surprises. You never know what's lurking in the fog.
You are not helping. Ever the diplomat, Lady Falsworth leaps on this opportunity to show Steve and Rachel to their rooms. And yeah, she walks Rachel into this large, uh, looks like two-part bedroom. Bob, how would you describe this?
Yeah, it is definitely a suite, Rick, right? And so I want to sort of have a sitting room, and then it looks in the back. You have another area with a couch, maybe even be one of those step down sort of. Those were very popular in the
Mm.
70s in the United States. But there's a couch back there with a table. Looks like maybe a serving set on it. So I think what we're seeing is maybe from the perspective of the bed itself. I'm not sure, but it's a nice spread.
It sure is. Well, let's hope this trip does stay peaceful. But if trouble finds us, we'll handle it, as always. This is the guest suite. I hope it suits your needs for this trip. And all Rachel can do is be surprised. A little while later, our fearless couple are getting ready for a night on London town. You clean up pretty nice, Steve. I didn't know Captain America owned a tux. And Steve is trying to adjust his suit in front of the mirror. Well, I am used to a different kind of suit. This one is a little restrictive. Thanks for being patient with all this. The reunions, the stories. I know it's a lot. And she comes over to adjust his tie. Patient? I'm living it up, Steve. Fancy digs, lovely tea, and now a night out? This beats trading quips with those skeleton crew bozos any day. And then they're outside, walking the streets, and Steve's got his right arm around Rachel's waist. Say, what's with that mist? How strange. Not strange, England. But not ghosts, London. I relax, Steve. You promised me dinner and a show. If London wants to be spooky, it could stay spooky until tomorrow. And what we see, what what Steve's looking at is there are some myths coming up from the sidewalk, and there is a very shadowy cloaked figure that appears to be standing there watching them. And we turn the page, and they are walking arm in arm down the sidewalk. It's official. London wins. You've got charm, cobblestones, and zero supervillains interrupting date night. Feels just like our first date. Hey, Bob, when was that?
That was way back when, Rick. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but we covered it.
We did.
We did cover it.
We covered it way back in episode 67, and it was Captain America 371. So
The
if anybody,
single
Ooh, that was-
greatest issue
yeah.
of Captain America
the
ever.
greatest issue. Yeah.
that's the
So
first kiss.
if we want a tangent, there are
Okay.
actually several tangents I can go on for this. Firstly, you own the art for that, and
I do.
I want it.
I'm going to tell you right now, Tom. But when the day comes for me to sell that page, which is Steve and Rachel's first kiss, you will be the first person I reach out to.
God bless you.
Now, whether you can afford it, that's a different
Well,
story.
we'll find out. I'll sell quite a lot. 371. So the cover. I think the cover is fantastic. Again, the only flaw is that she doesn't have pink hair. And so recently, a couple of months ago, Carmen Carnero opened her commission list, and I had like multiple reminders to get in because she doesn't do commissions often, and I knew they were going to. She had like 10 slots, and I think I pre-wrote an email with what I wanted. It was going to cost almost as much as the comic cost me to make, to get her to do a cover homage to Ron Lim's cover for 371.
Oh, wow.
But like in London, etc., with the pink hair, and I did not get the commission slot, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
I was
Oh.
gutted. But
It was kind of a janky setup though. Because
It
I
was-
remember trying to get on and it just
Hmm.
wasn't.
it
Yeah.
wasn't as smooth as I'd hoped. But I
Yeah.
don't know. 10 people got it, and well
Yeah.
done them. I'm very jealous.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so they're walking arm in arm. And when Rachel says, feels just like our first date, and then somebody yells, somebody help me. Diamond, we can't ignore that. I just had to jinx it, didn't I? And what do we see, Bob?
Oh, it's a great panel, right? Because she's got that sort of frown on her face, and you can see it in her eyebrows. They're sort of pinched together, where she realizes she just jinxed it by talking about what a great night it was and how relaxing and wonderful London was.
I was asking about the next panel, but that's okay.
Yeah. All right.
I really enjoy the expression on her face.
It is. I thought for sure Tom was going to opine on this panel because it is, to me, it's a standout panel in the book just because of that
We'd be
expression.
here. We'd be here for a long time if I was going to opine on Rachel.
Yes. Well, on the next page, what we see is an elderly woman on her keister in an alleyway, and she's being approached by two ruffians with knives, yeah, they appear to be threatening her.
Hand it over, Grandma. Don't make us ask twice.
Hey, let her go.
A bloody Yank thinks he can push us around, Dave. Maybe you don't know how things work in London, yeah? He's got his bird with him too. What's she gonna do? Nag us to death?
You've got two options. Let the lady go and walk away, or stay and regret it. Go ahead, pick option 2. We'd love the workout. And they start running towards them with their weapons. And Rachel and Steve get their fists up, and she just has a look on her face and says, "Oh, good."
I do love the expressions on both their faces of supreme confidence,
Right.
and a little bit like, oh yeah, I get to work out a little here.
And then the next page, we do see 3 panels in a row of Rachel giving a left cross. And then the other one, she gives a right kick. And then Steve comes up and takes the two of them and knocks their heads together. And Rachel, feeling very good about herself, is there flexing. She's showing her
I love,
guns.
I really love, and I know that Ash Barnes really likes this as well. That she, yeah, that is one image that I did put in, like the flex was really important. And she's admiring herself in an imaginary mirror. She's very pleased with herself.
And Steve kneels down to give the lady a hand, who was, as Bob said, on her keister. Say, she looks a little familiar. Are you okay, ma'am? Did they hurt you? No, thanks to you two. Always the hero. But Rachel wasn't having any of that. She grabbed Steve by the shirt. If you don't mind, miss, we have dinner reservations.
Inspired by Toy Story, where little Bo Peep hooks Woody at some point with her crook and yanks him off. I
Right.
just enjoy that image.
And watching all this, at the very top is Union Jack. And he's standing on a ledge on the top of a building looking down.
Well, good to see Cap can still handle himself against the locals. Time to go hunting.
And then we turn the page, and this is an interesting layout. It takes over the place of basically the two inside pages, like a centerfold almost, the two inside. And the top panel stretches across from I would say it's like the top half of the first page, and then takes into the page next to it. And then it kind of continues to the right there, and then works its way down. And we see Union Jack jumping down from a ledge to the top of a building, and we see multiple images of Jack as he lands and then starts running, and he's looking um, for some. He's looking for a little trouble.
Well, blow me down. More of them. Been facing down these blighters for weeks now. Never in these numbers before, though. So many of you. Just little old me. I'm flattered. Bring it on.
Pow!
Oof. Hold on. Those two down there. Rogers and his lass. They're not out for me. Clearly got another target in mind tonight.
Whack!
Not tonight, you don't. I'll clip every last one of you if I have to.
And at this point, Jack pulls out his pistol and fires at one of the demon vampires.
Blam, blam, blam!
You lot want to fight? You've got one. If they're after Steve, this could get ugly fast. Better stick close.
And we turn the page, and we have Steve and Rachel at their dinner reservations. And Steve is holding the chair, allowing Rachel to sit down. And then the next panel, we see the two of them enjoying some food, some glasses of red wine. Then the next panel, we see them walking a very nice staircase. It looks like maybe at a theater. And then the last panel, the two of them are sitting in the theater, clapping. But the whole time, Bob, there's something strange going on in the background.
Right. Yeah. Some of the folks around them seem to be these vampiric demons, and they must be appearing as human to the people around them, but we see them for what they are.
And they all have these really creepy grins, right?
Yeah. One of them
Yeah.
looks like he's named Gizmo.
Yeah, there is something of the gremlin to them. But
Hmm.
so the idea behind this is that they haven't got like image inducers or anything. They appear as they are, but Cap and Diamondback are so enraptured with each other, they just don't notice these plainly. And it's sort of sending up Marvel's habit of putting like the Thing in a trench coat and a hat, and
Right.
no one recognizes him. In issue 424, there he meets Cap meets up with Sidewinder, and he's wearing his cowl, but he's just got a hat on and a trench coat. So no
Right.
one recognizes him as Captain America. And so that's sort of sending us up. And they caption, they're just enjoying a totally normal romantic evening together.
Love it.
Little behind the scenes. They originally scripted this, so the restaurant is called Lucius's, and the theater is the Verbanus Theater.
Nice.
We were going to have an exterior shot, but it didn't quite work out.
It's all right. We know.
You know.
We know now.
Now everyone
listeners
knows.
know. Yeah. Next page, and we see Lady Falsworth wearing. She looks like she's wearing a Union Jack outfit.
So this is so I've co-opted Jackie Falsworth to be an MI13 agent, basically, what I've called Agent Spitfire, and I just thought as a nice little nod to her being not just a regular agent, just give her a flak jacket that's got a Union Jack on it.
I like it.
Seems fun. Yeah.
Yes, and she is now with a character that we're just seeing for the first time, and that is Pete Wisdom. People
Who
might
definitely
know,
appears in a Captain America comic.
and people may know him from like Excalibur, right?
Mm-hmm.
While Cap and Diamondback enjoy a rare night off, on the other end of town, something mysterious is keeping MI13 busy.
And Bob, what is MI13?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Tom. It's the British intelligence agency that's been directed to protect Britain from mystical, extraterrestrial, and superhuman threats.
Incredible knowledge.
That's what I do.
Who needs keys when you've got, well, me? So before Bob does this sound effect, I'm going to tell a joke, and then Bob is going to do the sound effect, which is the punchline.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I know this joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you call a fish with no eyes? My work here is done. I quit.
Back when I lived in California, I was at a grocery store, and this little old man walked up to me in the produce section and told me that joke out of the blue.
Well, I mean, on this
giggled and walked away.
On this tangent, what do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea.
I like that.
Classic.
What do you call a deer with no eyes, no legs, bleeding all over the road? Still no bloody idea. I'm done. That's it.
All right, that's it. Yeah. Whatever you do, don't have Rick tell you the fluffy dog joke.
I listened to that episode. So I've been listening since 2023. May 2023. I checked when I joined the Facebook group and started listening to the podcast, and I still haven't listened to all the episodes. I am working my way through diligently. I keep listening to episodes twice though, because all the drafts I've listened to multiple times, all the nightcaps I've listened to multiple times, some of the interviews I've listened to multiple times. But yeah, I'm still working my way through, leaving the remender run till last.
That's a good one.
God bless you. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
So they're now inside this library, and Jackie says, "Try to keep it down, Peter."
Yeah, that's me. Subtle as a fox. Feels like I've kicked over every damn rock in London looking for this Nazi pillock. You sure about this lead, Jack?
The last bodies we found led us here. What's he hiding? And do you want to tell us the titles of some of these books?
So yeah, she's thumbing through books. She has one which is it's Latin for restoring the broken, but we have some other books on the shelves. The most salient of which is My Life avec Batroc by J.M.W. Sewell.
I wrote John today and asked him if he had even noticed that, and he hadn't yet. So he was so tickled.
I mean, there's just it's like going back to Mark Domeyer and Grant Bohr, there are some just standout characters that make the Facebook group and the podcast so much richer. And I know you love doing Batroc, Rick, and you do a great Batroc, but John Sill
Oh,
really pipped you, really sniped you on that
he
intro.
did. That's okay. That's all right. I defer to hey, when someone could do something better, you gotta let them do it. And so yeah, she's looking through this.
Hold on. I can't let it go, Rick, because I gotta know. Because you know me, I'm like a stickler for like research. So I went in.
No.
I went in and I wanted to know the title. So I know that one of them is Gamma Radiation by the Green Threat, right, in German. And then there's a book on Latvian history. But the one with the rune title, the runic title, I just could not. That was a bridge too far for me. So
So
come on, man.
I wrote the two on the left, and Rob Jones, the letterer, just filled in the other
Oh,
two.
did he? Well, those are actually, yeah, it does. It is Gamma Radiation by the
wow.
Green Threat in German. And it
How
is a book on
strange.
Latvian history. And I didn't know if that was like maybe a little play on Latvian history. But the rune one, it's got to mean something.
I will ask Rob.
All right. Thank
I
you.
will ask him.
And then as Jackie is going through the book, she's translating it. Blood of the fallen, making whole the dead. The signs are getting clear, Pete. Masterman's been playing with forces he doesn't understand.
Sounds like necromancy. But who is Masterman trying to bring back? If it's bloody Hitler again, I quit. That's one of my favorite lines.
That is a good line. Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I got to be honest with you. I was like, damn, Letterer messed that up. And then I was like, oh,
he
there we
did.
go.
And I did ask for a correction, and he forgot, and then I forgot, and it got printed, and I was just like, because it looks like Yitler.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Very annoying. Right. Here, Jack. These guys left in too much of a hurry. This looks old and weird. How's your German?
German? Here? Are you pulling my leg, Peter?
Nazis and the occult. Name a more iconic duo. I dare you.
There's more to it than that, Peter. Look here. I've read about this before. This ritual.
You think we can find out who they're trying to return from the dead?
I think our friend is trying to resurrect a vampire.
A vampire in beautiful Blighty?
They need power to complete the ritual. Blood. Life force. That's what they're using the missing people for.
Shh. Jack, you hear that? Something's...
Scream!
And two of these large human-sized vampires come flying in. And it looks like they are prepared to retaliate because Jackie gets out her pistol and knife, and Pete starts to use some magic in his hands.
He's a mutant, Rick. And that is his mutant power. It's hot knives from his fingers.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I think I maybe read Pete Wisdom once or twice when I was like years ago. Probably back in 1994. So we cut back to Rachel and Steve, who, remember, they just left the Rabanus Theater and had a fantastic time. And they're walking, and again, he's got his arm around her back. Admit it, Steve, even you had fun tonight. It's hard not to enjoy a night out with you, Rachel. And you were worried about us getting into trouble. A perfectly quiet... I just had to jinx it, didn't I? Listen to me. I don't know who you are or what you want. And we turn the page, but you are not ruining date night. And just then, Steve goes up and he kicks one and punches the other as they surround him. Careful, Rachel. Get behind me. Don't worry about me, boyfriend. They're not so tough, just ugly. And she takes one and smashes their face into the ground. But there's one right behind her, Bob. Rachel, behind you. And she turns and gives a back kick right into the solar plexus. Keep moving, Rachel. Don't let them box us in. And she chucks one. And then at this point, she reaches for her earring, which has a diamond that is dangling from her ear. I did not want to use these, but she throws them and knocks them right into the head of one of these vampires. You slowing down, Steve? Need me to carry the team? Just holding back to let you shine. It's quite the view. And then we turn the page, and coming out of nowhere,
Salam!
it's Union Jack.
You look like you could use a hand.
You've got great timing, Union Jack. Yeah, maybe next time show up before the workout.
Don't worry, it's over.
And he pulls out his pistol and he fires at two vampires that were just coming up.
Blam, blam.
And we see the exit wounds in the back of their heads. We turn the page, and it looks like they're all back at the Fallsworth house again, and they're in the foyer. And we see Pete hanging out on the staircase. We see Jackie at the bottom of it, and then walking in, we see Steve and Rachel and Union Jack taking off his mask. There you are. You've been causing quite a stir, I hear.
Nothing we can handle, ma'am. Handling it? Is that what you call leaving half the street looking like Dracula's buffet? MI13's going to be cleaning up after you all night.
Nice to meet you, too. Who's this charming fellow? Rachel, Steve, this is Pete Wisdom, MI13's resident expert in all things unpleasant.
Someone's got to deal with the things that go bump in the night. And right now, those things are vampires.
Our cohort repairs to the kitchen, where Jacqueline and Pete relate their findings to the group.
Joey's report was right. London's crawling with the bloodsuckers. And they're not just after random victims now. This is organized.
Organized how?
Someone or something is calling the shots. We've been tracking a spike in activity, and all signs point to a ritual, a big one.
Let me guess. Whatever they're planning, it's bad news for everyone?
Gold star for the Yank. Agent Spitfire and I went on a little field trip. Came up against some of the bloodsuckers ourselves. We found one of their hideouts. They tried to burn everything, but they left some clues behind.
Peter's right. They got sloppy. The long and the short of it is they've been bringing someone back from the dead, and they seem to want one last thing to pull it off. Powerful blood. And guess whose name is at the top of the menu? And then you see a close-up on Steve's face with a very serious look. Let them try. Meanwhile, as a storm comes to life over London, lightning clawing at the skyline and thunder rattling ancient stones across the city, hidden amongst crumbling streets and layers of forgotten history, Masterman's lair comes alive with twisted purpose. And there is one of the vampires putting his hands together, almost like he's praying, looking up at Masterman with tears in his eyes.
Master, please! They were strong! Stronger than we thought! The woman, she fought like a demon!
You are demons! Of us had too much for you to remember. Pathetic, a flock of you, bested by a captain without his shield, and a woman with earrings. Get out of my sight. Find Rogers. Bring me his blood, or I'll break you and build something better. The ritual is almost complete. The appointed hour is nigh, and soon London shall once again fall under the shadow of Baron Blood.
And we turn the page into the last page. It's a gigantic splash of a crypt and it is marked with Baron Blood's face, and we see tubes going into the crypt that are red, assuming that is blood being poured into it. And in the background, we see lightning in the London sky. Darkness rises in the heart of London as Captain America, Diamondback, and Union Jack uncover a sinister plot tied to the city's darkest legend. But as shadows deepen and an ancient evil stirs, the nightmare of Baron Blood threatens to return. And this time, the bloodshed could be unimaginable. Can our heroes stop the rising tide, or will the streets of London run red once more? Next month, as shadows gather and ancient enemies move unseen, Captain America and his lady love must rely on old allies and each other to survive what's coming. Secrets run deep, danger runs deeper, and not everyone will make it out unscathed. Featuring Union Jack, Spitfire, and the return of Baron Blood. Dun dun dun!
That's crazy. Right.
That's a
Yeah.
cool story, Tom.
Good
Thank you
story.
very much.
That's
you,
like
yeah.
totally out of 1994.
I'm really glad it had that feel to it. It was
Mhm.
very much on my mind. And I think it grows into it so I wrote this in bits, and so some of it was written after Paolo had started, and it gets more verbose as the issue goes on. And Mark Grunwald was not a man to use one word when three would do.
Yeah, trust me. We know. We do
Yeah.
one issue of a Mark Grunwald story and like, "Oh my god, this is going to be an hour and a half episode." One issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, so listening to all the nightcaps, Mark Domeyer's episode was like an hour long, and when I saw it, I was crushed. I would listen to this podcast for like 3-4 hours. Like how whatever you put out, the longer, and I'm like, oh, brilliant! Like this will be. I listen to it on my commute, and I'm like, oh, great! This
Do
is
you
like
know
four
how much
commutes.
Bob fought me on that? I can tell you early on, Bob was like, "We got to keep it. We got to keep it short, man. We got to. No one's going to listen to all this. We got to keep it, way under an hour." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"How?"
we've
Yeah,
got Tom.
impossible. The wrong guest.
We've got Tom, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You've got me. Absolutely. Like hook, line, and sinker. There's an episode where like it's quite early on, and you say that you guys don't have fans. We're fans of the podcast and fans of Cap. I think I'm certainly a fan of you too. I think
Oh,
you two make
Oh,
this podcast really special. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I do think there is a certain parasocial relationship in the group and on the podcast. Um,
did you say parasocial?
I like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's the sort of relationship that normal people have to celebrities and the engagement they do on through social media and stuff like that.
Ah, I've
It's a
never heard
great,
that term
great
before,
word.
and
Yeah.
we are not celebrities.
But
But
but to it like to a certain
okay,
corner of the internet, I think you absolutely are.
well,
Oh,
that's
wow.
very nice of you, and
Right.
we appreciate all four listeners. Um, so we don't have a tremendous amount of time left, but we do want to go through some highlights of some of the ads that you have and some of
Mhm.
these extras you put into the book. And also, I'll be sharing a link in the show notes for all our listeners so that you can go and check out Tom's comic online. So for those who aren't watching the comic on YouTube, but also we'll be sharing I mean, you can go and see all the ads, and they're really cool, right? And like these ads look like they were meant to be in 1994, and so not only from the style, but also from like the product, right?
Mm.
And so do you have a couple of favorites that you want to maybe take the listeners through?
I mean, I think we should lead with the Captain America Radio Hour.
Oh, okay. Now that
Like,
was not an ad, but that's just a fun one. Like back in the day, the Marvel comics they would have occasionally they'd have like a Fred Hembeck, little thing, and then in the 70s, and then in the 90s and early 2000s they had a the mini Marvels, right? They've had different cartoons or comic strips, I should say, over the years, and so you decided to immortalize Bob and I as comic characters in our own comic strip.
This is the single most expensive page in the book.
Really? Oh, no.
It was worth every penny. Such that I've already done the second one. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, wow.
Well,
It's
who's the
brought me
artist
so
on this
much
one?
joy. So this is a guy I found on Fiverr. I have not credited. Called Alexei, Bulgarian. So the fifth country, adding to the international quality of this. Yeah, I'll make sure he gets some credit.
I have this
yeah,
hanging on my wall, Tom,
Do
in
you
my
actually?
office. I do. I have it
Sure.
framed, hanging on my wall. So
Yeah, so it says Captain America Radio Hour at the top, which I love because there was no podcast back in 1994, right? And it says Red, White, and Broadcasting, an all new adventure of the Captain America Radio Hour starring Rick and Bob with special guest Captain America. And this is episode 36. I love that. And Bob, what's the title to this one?
Dead Air and Bad Blood.
So, Bob, I guess we could do our own voices, and then
You're gonna have to be yourselves.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right.
Act yourselves.
And
I'll
then,
do Baron Blood if you want.
all right, fantastic. So, Rick and Bob, the two of us sitting in front of microphones in the same room, but Bob's talking, and then we get a little signal that says off air.
And that's why Cap would absolutely win the Great British Bake Off. Patriotism and precision, Rick.
Bob, I think there's something wrong.
Oh no, the antenna must be out. This is worse than Cap Wolf.
And we cut to the roof, and someone is there breaking the antenna and chewing on the cable, and it's Baron Blood.
Let's see them spread their patriotic poison without a signal.
But out of nowhere, busting through the door, who is it, Bob?
It's Captain America, Rick.
Did I hear someone say justice was being silenced?
Cap!
Bravo.
And
Bravo.
then we're up on the roof, and Cap throws his mighty shield, knocking back Baron Blood. The people need truth. They need history. They need passion for patriotic podcasting.
Curse you, Captain America!
And then we're back in the studio, and we're on air, and there's Bob on the left and Rick on the right and Cap in the middle looking bored. You did it, Cap. You saved the day.
Just in time to discuss in great detail the Nomad costume's plunging neckline.
We've all heard once or twice.
So no one talks about the Nomad costume without saying the words plunging neckline.
Plunging, it's required.
It was in Nate's top 10 nightcap for costumes. Brilliant. I mean, so again, like when you come up with an idea and you know it's gold, and I'm so glad it was realized. Again, so I had to sort of stalk you guys on Facebook to find pictures of you to send to this guy. Absolutely just brilliant.
And because this is 1994, I actually have hair.
I couldn't find any pictures of you from the 90s. So
yeah, mine is still gray, which is
it's silver fox.
Silver fox, right?
Just a little, just a little,
Yeah.
just a little. Yeah,
So
that's great.
Another ad page I think you want to talk about is the one with your shop on.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that because you had shared before this comic strip, but you hadn't shared that ad. So I was really surprised when I was going through the issue, and it was really cool. Yeah, if you go on to this particular page, there's 3 ads on there, and we have Cap Facts. So let Grant Ball Cap Fanatic and Marvel Mega Brain take you on a Stars and Stripes ride through secret origins, alternate timelines, and more shield throwing trivia. And and
So Grant reached out to me, and his only complaint was that 4.99 was too much, and he'd do it for free.
and did, has anybody tested the number 555 Cap Hack?
I think, well, no, because so he mentioned this in a recent Cap Fact, the Nomad issue that has this weird phone
Uh
number on
huh.
it that's actually a sex line or something.
Uh
So
huh.
I did not check, and I hope it doesn't link to anything.
Oh, oh boy.
But I've
Well, then
heard
that
that
leads to the next one.
555. Yeah,
What would
yeah.
Cap do? And real questions, real problems, American answers. Hosted by Rick Verbanis, the voice of virtue. 555 Cap what? And that one's only $3.99 per minute. So
Bargain.
basically, I'm not as expensive as Grandpa.
No, cheaper than therapy, safer than Civil War.
Yeah. So that's fun. I like that. And then at the bottom here, comic books, etc. And then the O in comic is Cap's Shield, the one-stop shop for all your comic book needs. New stuff every week, and then it's an ad and it has a whole bunch of comics from that time period. Um, so that was really cool.
And
And you
now it's on the World Wide Web, Rick.
and it has my old website address, which does that I don't even know if that still works
It
because
does not work. I think I guessed as well. It wasn't. Oh no, I did because I found some old business details on the
uh-huh.
internet.
Yeah.
And yeah, it did have your website listed.
Business
Um,
details. You mean like a deal, like here's a
it
record of a transaction kind of
Like a
it was
business?
like
something. It was
a
something
Better
really
Business
weird.
Bureau complaint or
Yeah,
something,
something like
Yeah.
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, a string of
Do not
complaints.
cease and desist. Yeah, no, this is fun stuff. But really, there's some really cool ads in here. There's one, and I want to leave some to the imagination so that people will
Mhm.
actually go and check this out on the link we provide in the show notes. But there's the Welcome to Superior Cruise Line.
Love that
Um,
one. Love it.
yeah, so you got some of the female, and this is actual, not drawn. These are
So
models. And
this is my guilty admission, because I know we don't like it, but those are AI images.
yeah, I know. I didn't think you paid for models to dress up in these outfits. Yeah.
I just assumed
Bob might.
they were cosplay folks.
Enthusiasts.
But I've been on a number of those like special purpose cruises, right? And so I absolutely love this because it looks very real.
There's a join
Oh, so
ultimatum
good.
today, which is Flag Smasher, and I love that has the little cutout at the
Mm.
bottom, with the
Mhm.
fill in the blank, and then check these off. And there's it's I love this flamethrower, um, and so there's that one, and again, people need to check these out. Um, there's a
My favorites are the inside covers, the
the
Genesis
Sega
games.
Genesis.
Like this was my like peak video game era,
Yeah.
in the 90s, and oh man, I just again this was Rob. He put this together, and it's just so good. I really wanted Batroc somewhere in the comic.
Leaping through time.
Leap through time is just such
It's
a
like the
dumb.
best. It's like Marvel Batroc, the Leaper, and Mr. Peabody. Remember that cartoon?
This is an American reference I don't
Oh, you don't know
understand.
Mr. Peabody? It's like the
No,
dog and the little boy, and the dog's like really, really smart and he can talk, and they travel through different historical epochs and get in
it sounds
trouble.
amazing.
It's an awesome,
Sounds
awesome.
edutaining.
Yeah, it really is.
Mhm.
I learned a lot about history as a kid, and then they came out with like a modern movie
Mm.
update, probably around mid 2000s. So check it out. Yeah.
Mm.
And two other call outs. One is the last page, which is um, here's what's going on in the Capverse, other
Mm.
comics, and so uh, Tom took a few of the other ideas from various fantasy drafts and made them actual comics and that you can pick up in your local comic shop.
this is one of the anachronisms really that makes it into the book, because a lot of these are set well after the 90s. But it was just um, on my episode with Matthew Glover, just a great guy. We had such a great time. I really wanted to recognize him, and then Nate's cover vision for his episode when I asked on Facebook for any of them, and his cover vision was just so iconic, and like the colors and everything worked so well. I just wanted to recognize, and then I
Yeah,
threw together the Fury files, and
yeah, these are cool. And then
mm,
on the other side of that, you have the Marvel bullpen bulletins,
mm,
and you have some cool things in here. So you asked me to do like a Stan's soapbox. So I think you came up with the title Rick's Ramblings.
ramblings.
So I wrote it in the style of Stan Lee in December of 1993.
It
Um,
reads exactly like one of the editorials I would have ignored at the time.
yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, unless you're bored and you're
Mm.
you're sitting around, it's the only thing to read. And you're like, I'll read that. And probably no one read this one either. But if you did, I tied it in. I used 90s lingo and what was
I
going
think it's
on in the
excellent.
90s, but I tied it into what's going on in today's world. Uh, so I was honored that you asked me to do that.
I Yeah, honored to be here.
But there's a lot more in. So everybody go to the link and check that out.
Mm.
Tom,
Can I just ask one more question, Rick? I got to know about that back cover.
Yeah, so this was I was looking for ages for something to put on the back cover, and Paolo, when he'd finished everything, he just sent me this, like just as a sort of thanks for the memories, sort of like it was, and he just sent me it, and that is a picture from my Facebook when I was a little bit fitter than I am now. That's that one swole arm I worked really hard on.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, but
Right.
that is like this t-shirt and similar that I wear to the gym. I'm never out of them really.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is I
Well,
want to bring
man,
that's
what
back
an
t-shirt
awesome.
Tuesdays. I've
did you skip leg day? What's going on here? I don't.
I've never done a leg day. There's
Ah, yeah.
no one's no. I
Nobody's
walk
looking.
around on my legs all day.
Yeah.
Those are leg days.
Yeah. It's London.
So,
It's England. You're not wearing shorts anyway.
to be fair, it's now monstrously hot. I
Is
am
it
one
really?
of the
Yeah.
only people in the UK that has air conditioning, and it's only because my wife is an American and was
Oh,
like,
right.
she
Yeah.
got here and she was like, it is insufferably hot. Why are you just like blowing a fan, hot air on your face? I was like, well, but what else can we do? She's like, buy an air conditioning unit. Oh, no, can't. Toodle pip, pibbly bobbin.
Blimey. Yeah.
Blimey,
Yeah.
governor.
I can just see
So
that. What? What? What?
this is really stupid, but I thought going to the States, I went on holiday, and I thought, oh, like probably what attracted me to my wife is my like sexy British accent, and I said like, oh, was it my accent that did it for you? And she's like, well, I didn't really notice. Why? Well, you just sound like you. Like, oh,
Oh,
Okay.
well,
well,
shoot.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It was you.
It was
It
me.
was she fell in love
Thank
with
goodness.
you,
Yeah.
not your
God bless.
accent, not the
Yeah.
words that come out of your mouth that you don't like to hear.
Nice. You had her at pip pip doodly doo.
Tom, I know I told you this before, but I gotta say, I'm just proud of you, man. This is a tremendous project that you put your blood, sweat, tears, and money into, in time and effort, and it really paid off. And you did something that all of us have dreamt to doing one day, and you made it happen. So, kudos to you, man.
I really appreciate that. I mean, it
Mhm.
wouldn't have happened without you guys. But and if anyone like wants to do this, do it. Like even if you've got like an idea for 3 pages or 6 pages, find someone. I mean, I'll give you Paolo's contact, but find someone and realize it, because it was very fulfilling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
and can't wait to see part two.
yeah.
Oh,
And
me too. I'm
it
really
must have been
excited.
because you're not giving up.
No, yeah, I mean
You're
that
pressing
is there.
ahead.
It's
So
very much the sort of like because I do want a Golden Age issue at some point, but they're not going anywhere.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, and Doctor Crime and the Pygmies of Terror has sold on eBay now. So,
Yeah.
and
Probably.
I thought like, oh, maybe I'll buy another one. No, and it turns out I really need that one.
Yeah.
Collecting is so weird. It's
Ah,
It
so
really
weird.
is.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Ah, just don't let the original art monkey get on your back, as
Oh, too late.
brother.
Too late. I have two Carmen Carneros, a Captain Marvel and a Captain America. And I need, at least I need that specific Ron Lim, and I know where it is. Right down. I now have your address, thanks to Bob.
Oh
That was really
no!
nice.
Oh no!
I surprised Rick with this issue,
Yeah.
and there's thanks to Bob for selling you out immediately. No concerns
What?
whatsoever about giving out your address to a stranger on the internet.
All right. Well, I have to say it's been a lot of fun having you on, Tom, and it's been a pleasure going through this comic. It's really fun. I recommend everybody check it out. And we'll definitely need to have you back on the show.
I'm just
Still,
glad we never got round to me explaining why Bob's the daddy.
okay. Yeah. Here's the fun
He's
part, right?
definitely editing this part out. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that, Tom.
yeah. Here's the fun part. I got to do all this again because I got to edit all this. So I would love to talk to you
Several
all night.
times.
I would love to talk to you all night. But this is going to be a big chunk of a Saturday for me. So I'm going to have
If this
to.
makes it into the podcast, this is the 8th hour of recording, everyone, and it's going to get cut down.
All right. Well, we gotta wrap this up, Tom. Rick's getting punchy. So
I'm getting punchy. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning here for Tom.
It's 3:24.
Yeah.
Pounding that tap water.
Mhm.
All right. So speaking of the fantasy draft, for those who want to hear the next one, make sure you come back in episode 258. So it's only 4 episodes from now, but yeah, make sure you check that out. Bob, any final words before we call it a night?
Nope. I can't wait to do this again with you next week, Rick.
All right. For Tom Boyd, he's Bob Lucius. I'm Rick Verbanis. And thank you for listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.